Hi, this is Cody from Keeping Score Board Game Reviews, and today I'm doing something a little different for you. With Gencon coming up this week, I'm going to share my top 10 games from Gencon that I am looking forward to maybe buying, because these really excite me. I will also be sharing with you Elizabeth's top 7, because that's all she could come up with. Her and I do like very, very different things, which is why you see we don't always agree on our opinions on the channel. I will also mention a couple of small extra games that, for one reason or another, aren't in my top 10, but I would also like to have. So, I'm going to start with my number 1, and it is Layers from KTBG. It is a 2-player game where you both build a dungeon with monsters and traps and things like that. And then you have to score the most points by being the most successful at going through your opponent's dungeon. It looks really cool. The expansions add a lot to it. And it's relatively fairly priced, which I can't argue with either. And the art is gorgeous. But it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. I saw it demoed last year and played a little bit of it, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting my hands on an actual copy. Elizabeth's number 1 game is Uh-Oh Dino. She actually backed this one on Kickstarter, but it is going to be launching at Gen Con as well. And it's a cute little, how would I describe it? It's a cute little game about dinosaurs and not getting hit by meteors, and it looks adorable. I didn't get a chance to look real deeply into that one, but I am excited to play it. So, Uh-Oh Dino for her number 1. My number 2 is Game Makers by Bezier. You compete against your friends to be the best game manufacturer, and you do so by using over 300 actual board games as the games you're making. It actually looks really cool. It's got these neat little forklift pieces that you have to use, and it's got a big rondelle in the middle with all the components and things. I once again saw and demoed a little bit of that at Gen Con last year, and it blew me away, so I'm absolutely excited to get my hands on a copy. There is a bit of crossover with her number 2. Elizabeth's number 2 is Night at the Zoo. It's a tile laying game where you have to try to escape, or where you have to try to get the animals back in their enclosures after a wild time out at the zoo overnight. It's not in my top 10, but it is in one of my honorable mentions that I was really looking forward to. So I'm really excited to play that with her. My number 3 is Tales of Myth and Legend. This is by Van Ryder Games, and it is a paragraph game, and when I say that, I mean similar to Tales of the Arabian Nights or Agents of Smersh, where you've got these different actions you take. I believe you all declare your movement at the same time, and whoever's going the furthest goes later in the turn. And you'll get there, you'll make a decision. There's all these different crazy things that can happen, and then you'll score victory points and go on to the next thing. It's a really simple design with it being paragraph-based, but the writers of this game are really good writers. I mean, they've written things for Final Girl and Folklore and a bunch of other games I've really enjoyed, so I'm really excited to see what they do with this concept. Elizabeth's number 3 is a reprint of an oldie but a goodie that I've played called Guillotine. It's an excellent little card game with a wicked sense of humor, and absolutely cannot wait to play it with her because I really enjoyed playing it when I had in the past. So, Guillotine. We have my number 4. This is Lord of the Rings Circle of Conflict. It's by Asmodee. Think Between Two Cities or Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, where in those games you were building 2 separate castles or 2 separate cities. In this one, on one side you're playing the free armies with the hobbits and everybody trying to beat the Shadow Lord, and on your other side you're playing as the orcs and Saruman and all the people working for Sauron, you know? So you're playing 2 completely distinct games with the players on your left and right, and they're doing the same with players on their left and right. And it takes what was a really cool city or castle builder concept and turns it into this really cool, like, strategy concept, and I'm really excited to see how that plays. This one will be a very limited release at Gen Con, I'm told, so definitely if you're interested in that one, head over to Asmodee and grab it early. Number 4 on Elizabeth's title is Bookshelf. This one is by Alley Cat Games, and in a similar vein to like Barbecubes and Tinder Blocks and some of the other little tin games they've done, it's all about you playing a little dexterity game where you're trying to organize a bookshelf in this little tin. And it just looks like an excellent little twist on that. So that looks like a lot of fun. My number 5 is by IV Studios. I've reviewed several of their games in the past, and I absolutely adored them, so I'm excited to try anything from them. And it's called Realm of Reckoning. And it's all about competing against each other to be the winner and the leader of the Realm of the Dead. It's got a lot of interesting things in the BGG page that they talk about and how it's played, so I'm really excited to get some hands-on time with that. Elizabeth's number 5 is Crab Rage. I don't know anything about Crab Rage other than the fact that the box looked cute and it sounds silly. It was in my interested list on the Gen Con preview, and she took a look at it and she likes it a lot. So that's her number 5. My number 6, and I want to make this clear, my top 10 could be in any order because these are all equally as interesting to me and I want them all. But my number 6 is Greyloon by Pandasaurus Games. And Greyloon is this really neat worker placement game that they've kind of combined with this adventure game concept. So you're going to be putting your villagers in special places in the city to get what you need to then go on quests and do these story-based actions. And it combines my love of a story with a really good worker placement game. And that sounds amazing to me. Her number 6 is Cattywampus. I tried to have her describe to me what it is, and apparently it's combining 2 words together with a drawing, and then your friends have to try to guess what your 2 words were. And it sounds really silly, but that sounds really fun, so I'm totally behind that. So keep an eye out for Cattywampus. My number 7 is Old King's Crown. It was released from Kickstarter last year in 2025. The art is gorgeous. It's been really popular with a lot of folks, and I don't know as much about it as I wish I did, but I do know that everybody that says they love it are also people that seem to love the things I love, so I'm totally excited to know more and play more. Elizabeth's number 7 is Cup the Crab. I have no idea what this game is about, but I assume it's something to do with cups and crabs. I do remember that the art on the box was cute, and that's about as far as I got when I looked at it, but she says she really likes it, so I'm totally behind that. Cup the Crab. My number 8 is Entropy by Board and Dice. Now, Entropy is this really neat Euro game where you start off, first you have to form your galaxy, then your planet, and then you have to form everything that's on the planet. It's this really cool sounding game where you get to, design everything from the barest molecule all the way up to the species living on the planet. It sounds and looks so cool, and I really can't wait to play it. So Entropy by Board and Dice. My number 9 is The Queen's Dilemma by Horrible Guild. Now, Queen's Dilemma is really unique. It took the basics of The King's Dilemma, which was a game I played a little bit of back when it came out, and I really liked what it tried with like the choice-based narrative of being a king trying to save your kingdom, and all the players played as the different advisors, and it was Legacy. So they took that, but with the Queen's Dilemma, they've really let it breathe and grow into this much bigger, stronger game. And it's once again got legacy elements, but it's really story heavy, and you make a choice and then you have to deal with the fallouts of all those choices and see where the game takes you from there. And it looks amazing. I'm really excited to play it. That's The Queen's Dilemma by Horrible Guild. And then number 10, I don't know as much about Jisogi as I want to, but I do know it's about running the best anime or manga business that you can, where you're writing new manga and things like that in Japan. And since I'm a big fan of anime and manga, I'm all for a game where I can try to do the best I can at making that happen. So Jisogi is my number 10. There are a few honorable mentions I'd like to bring up. Pretty much anything getting released by All Play this year, and I don't have them specifically on my list because I'm working with All Play this year at Gencon. So I'll get the chance to try out a bunch of them, and I'll probably end up leaving the show with more All Play games than I intended to anyway, because that's what happened last year. And then Camp Grizzly by Trick or Treat. I helped demo this for them last year before their Kickstarter, and I'm excited to come back and demo the completed retail copies for their players this year. Once again, it's not in my top 10 because inevitably, one way or another, I'm leaving the con with a copy of Camp Grizzly. So I'm really excited for that to be coming home with me because it's always been one of my must-own games. There's a bunch of other really cool things. Button Kingdoms is an honorable mention because I'm not sure it's going to be available at the show, but I'm certainly going to demo it if I can. You've got Moitura, which is a 2-player versus the environment. So it's player versus the game. And it's all about this Irish folklore, and it seems really neat. Then there's Treeline, which is this really neat game about helping the trees reclaim what humanity has claimed. I think it's like this post-apocalyptic thing. I don't know as much. And then Forbidden Legacy. I love the Forbidden games, Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Sky at all, you know. And Forbidden Legacy just sounds like they're marrying the best parts of Pandemic Legacy with the Forbidden games, and that excites me quite a bit. And I have to mention Tag Team Arthur's Legacy because Scorpion's Mask was the first Hachette was the first publisher that believed in us last year and helped us get our channel started. So I'm obviously going to go over there and try to get a copy of Tag Team Arthur's Legacy because if it's as good as the first one, that's amazing. So look forward to us maybe getting a copy of that. And then one of the other games I saw that was really cute was called Spooky Bar. And you're trying to sell like the best drinks to your ghost patrons. I don't know. It looks fun. And it's got this theme matched with the mechanics that seems like it'll be really good. So Spooky Bar will be the last honorable mention for today's video. Thank you very much. As always, this has been Cody for Keeping Score Board Game Reviews. Have a wonderful day.